Where did our stock close today? Well, yeah, 86 cents a share, up nearly 20% on volume of about 2.8 million shares. Yeah. Yeah, we're up like a little over 14 cents. This is great. I mean, this is legitimately great stuff, and I think that the prognosis for what becomes of our company is getting increasingly better. And I don't just mean because the stock price is going up. I have not ignored some of our operational data. And I mean, today, for example, both PJM Penelec and PJM PPL grid pricing was very, very soft. Okay, very, very weak pricing, generally speaking. So to the extent we chose to practically import, like free electricity just about from the grid to power our Bitcoin mining machines, we were generating just copious amounts of useful revenue. So operationally, things are going great, but perhaps even more important, our stock price at long last is maybe, I don't want to jinx anything, maybe our stock price is starting to show some signs of life, some signs of renewal, some signs of gaining momentum, some signs of finally reflecting the reality that some of us have known to be true for quite some time. And it's both a really neat feeling to be, to feel as if though a lot of the work we've done as a community, right? All of the research, all the thinking, all of the mathematical, thought that has gone into, okay, wait a minute, is this company actually on the right path or not? And it's not just reading what somebody else has had to say about this. I know many of us have dug into these numbers independently and oftentimes come to very similar conclusions, if not the exact same conclusion. And, where there has been perhaps some divergence of views, I think once we've collectively looked at the numbers, we tend to realize, hey, there is a truth in math, right? You can't necessarily come to multiple conclusions, right? As it relates to, like how the math works out for this business. And I'm incredibly grateful for what is transpiring. But that said, and the reason I'm laughing is because, look, we probably need to catch our breath here. The last couple of days of trading have been pretty pronounced, right? Insofar as the upward trajectory of the stock price may not be such a bad thing if we perhaps take a little bit of a breather, absent, something Bitcoin suddenly leaps to like $40,000 a coin or something like that. In which case, of course, okay, it would make sense for not only just Stronghold Digital Mining, but really every company within the Bitcoin mining sector, right? To actually, see their share price go up, right? So I think we're on the right path. It's hard to predict when we will cross the $1 barrier, but I am incredibly happy to announce that we have in fact crossed the $100 million market cap threshold. For quite some time there, as almost laughable as it may seem, right? We as a company were trading at one point substantially less than $100 million. Then after the recomputation of the number of shares outstanding, that kind of brought us up to about 70 plus $million in terms of a market cap. And now finally we have surpassed a $100 million market cap. In fact, I think we may be closing in on. And you know what? Let me not guess. Why guess when there's a dashboard that one can simply go to and see in practically real time, like what the numbers look like? Yeah, so we our market cap at 86 cents a share results in about $112 million. That's phenomenal. Now, phenomenal is a relative term here because, I mean, our plants, right? I mean, just to duplicate what we've got insofar as Panther Creek and Scrubgrass, I believe our 10K estimates that the replacement value of both of these power plants and all of the sort of like additional infrastructure, data centers, just the whole thing, right? It would be probably close to 500 million. Just the power plants alone probably are close to that, which may sound kind of like astonishing, right? How could it cost that much? But I mean, that's just the way things are. It's not cheap or easy to to build a power plant these days. Anyway, I'm rambling, but I'm just really impressed by what we're seeing. From a technical perspective, to the extent we maybe consolidate a bit, maybe somewhere in the roughly, say, I don't know, 76 cent to like maybe 86 cent range, somewhere within there. If we could just kind of find a little bit of footing, maybe catch our breath a little bit, I think we're really getting ourselves set up to go up above $1. We need to achieve a minimum bid price of at least $1 for 10 business days, consecutive business days, in order to avoid having to make some potentially, tricky decisions as to a reverse stock split. I have done some calculations, and it's, do you say to yourself, hey, do you do a reverse stock split that just takes us a little bit over $1, say a 1 for 2? Do you kind of give yourself a bit more margin by saying, hey, why don't we just pop up over $5 a share by doing a full 1 for 10, which based on today's closing price would, it's never a good idea to do math when you're recording a video, right? Especially if you're doing it in your head. That's almost like a prescription for, flubbing it. Okay, but my intuition was correct. I just wanted to confirm this. If we did a 1 for 10 reverse stock split at this point, I mean, the stock would be like at $8.60. Okay, look I'm getting into a debate with myself, which I've sort of sworn I did not want to do. Getting into a debate with myself as to, whether or not it would make sense for us to do a reverse stock split and what that could look like. Let's just see what happens. But the option is there to do a reverse stock split. There are many arguments to be made why that's a good thing. But I think there's also something to be said for, hey, let's see if we can just organically pull ourselves out of this. Now, hey, never say never. It could be that we get an announcement at the end of this week. Hey, look, we don't want to cut it too close. We're going to pull the trigger on a reverse stock split. That could happen. Okay. All I know is that we as a company are operationally sound. At least I believe that very truly, that we are operationally sound, that we're really in a position to be cash flow positive going forward, that we're in a position to really be super sensitized to any positive momentum in Bitcoin, which we're seeing now. And I think our business is in great shape for future growth. Now, I'd be remiss if I didn't acknowledge and have a bit of empathy, right? For some of us who might be in this name for $10, $15, $20 a share. It's like, hey, great. We went from like 72-ish cents a share to like 86 cents a share today. Hey man, I'm in this thing for like $15. Wake me up when like we're anywhere near there. I get it. By the same token, for some of us who kind of got in, at prices much lower than that, right? Maybe a lot of people have an average price of under $1. I mean, I think all of us as shareholders should probably just be happy that, hey, look, at least we're kind of marching in the right direction to potentially avoid this whole delisting thing. And you know what? Bitcoin is, I believe I read the last time we were at around $30,000 a coin would have been last June, like June of 2022. So this is kind of a big deal. And so let's see what happens. I'm not going to be overtly concerned if we sort of catch our breath or down a bit. I mean, we need to maybe, get a little bit of footing here. But I do think that if we're able to stay above 72 cents a share, we are setting ourselves up for really good things in the not too distant future here from a technical perspective. Again, I'm not a technical analyst really by training, nor really by heart. I mean, I'm not somebody who necessarily looks at a chart to make a decision about things, but it is useful, I do think, at some level to look at a chart to kind of get a better sense of, hey, well, what's the price action looking like? And gosh, I hope I'm not blowing out the audio on this video. I'm still trying to figure out how to do these things in a way that makes the most sense. 11 minutes already? Come on, dude. Sorry. Okay, it's a good day. Let's keep it up. Stay positive. Be great. See you tomorrow.